5, something like that. That would be super duper. 34 degrees right now, huh? Let's go ahead and we got Rose first, Peter number 2, and Debbie, you are deterred. We got Bradley, JB, Cindy, Jordan. All right, currently temp is 39. We got Dog and Ball Productions. Andy's over here. You just feel dirty, don't you, Andy? Let's see here. Jordan, I had to run home. I should have brought my damn glasses. Alrighty then. Good morning, Canada. Let's see here. 4 degrees Celsius up here, or 39 degrees. Not sure why we switched to the metric system. It probably had something to do with the crown. As you guys may notice, it's a different environment. Good morning, Ian. My bid is 36. You're going for the middle. All right, so hold on. I got to set. Oh, if I disappear for a second, I'm still here. Relax. 1 second. There we go. There we go. Had to set my timer there. I got 34 minutes to get through the day, to get through all of this that is this. I don't even know. There's no relaxation in prepping. It's true. It's true. All right, let's see here. So today is going to be a little off the, a little bit. I don't normally do this. Obviously, I've got the old LP clipboard here with different things to talk about. This is going to be mostly news this morning. I've been kind of holding off on it because I wanted to see what it would generate, how things would go. We got everything from the missiles. I mean, it's just insane. If you guys aren't paying attention, Israel is about to go to totally obliterate Iran. I don't know what they'll do, what that means, but they're tired of the whole situation. But so, top of the news. I really expected there to be more this morning. Good morning, Tina. Good to see you. But they're sending a THAAD system to Israel. It's probably a THAAD system is our most, I wouldn't say powerful, most technologically advanced anti-missile defense system. It's actually designed to shoot down ballistic missiles before they re-enter. Good morning, Preston. But let's go on and go over this because I've got 33 minutes to enlighten you. The deployment of U.S. Terminal High Altitude Air Defense Battery, also known as THAAD, to Israel, and roughly 100 soldiers. Boots on the ground. How did that happen? Because we can't teach them to use it fast enough. That's why. To operate it will add to already difficult strains on the Army's air defense forces and potential delays in modernizing its missile defense system, Army leaders said Monday. The service's top 2 leaders declined to provide details on the deployment orders by Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. What a joke. Over the weekend, but they spoke broadly about their concerns at the demand for THAAD and Patriot missile batteries grows because of the war in Ukraine and escalating conflicts between Israel and Iran-backed Hezbollah and Hamas militants. That's bull. That's total bunk. That is, they need the THAAD to stop the ballistic missiles that are coming from Iran. The Pentagon announced that THAAD deployment Sunday, saying it was authorized at the direction of President Joe Biden. U.S. officials said the system will be moved from a location in the continental United States to Israel, and that it will take a number of days for it and soldiers to arrive. The official spoke of conditions of anonymity to discuss details of troop movements. The move adds to what have been growing tensions within the Department of Defense about what weapons the U.S. can afford to send to Ukraine, Israel, or elsewhere, and resulting risks to American military readiness and its ability to protect the nation. Guys, as you think about it, so we only have like 12 of these THAAD systems in all of the United States. And somehow we're sending one to Israel. Like, we're literally taking it out of a strategically located position that gives us the ability to shoot down ballistic missiles, or try to anyway. So basically what we did was we're starting to turn our cheddar cheese, our block of cheddar cheese that is our defense system, into Swiss cheese. Basically, there's going to be a hole in our defense system. Now someone's on the DoD press briefing is going to say, well, won't that leave us vulnerable? And they're not going to say, well, yeah, you're right, it does. They're going to say something to the effect of, well, don't worry, we got that covered. We just repositioned another one. That way they can cover both areas. Yeah. No. No. Now, they do locate these things with redundancy. So in theory, it could. But the fact is that if someone were to, if there were to have been a launch on us, God forbid, that would have one system trying to protect two areas, which it is capable of doing, but we're stretching it. We're really, really stretching it. Blaine, good morning, my friend. Is this the iron bubble? Is the iron bubble a THAAD? No. The THAAD is a ballistic system, and we're the only ones that have it. So, the Iron Dome, okay, is something that the Israelis developed. It's not designed to take out ballistic missiles. It has been doing a good job so far, but it's primarily designed to take out smaller projectiles, rockets, mortars, some large missiles, but it is not designed to take out ballistic missiles. So it's an issue. It's an issue. Let's see here. Don't forget, they still have the freaking lasers. Yeah, that's right. Oops. A lot of people don't even know about that. Yeah, the Israelis developed a laser defense system. But the thing is it takes time. The system does work. I've seen videos of it working. But it takes time. So they have to have lots of these lasers, because when people attack them, they don't just like they're just not like lobbing things over the border. They're actually like sending waves of them. So it's going to be a problem. Let's see here. Stray Kitten says THAAD with 2 A's. That makes me want to pronounce it THAAD. It's a military acronym, so you know it's wrong. You know, somebody just let's just make an acronym about THAAD. Yeah, that's it. Let's throw 2 A's in it. Yes, it is an older system, but the thing is it gets upgraded. The THAAD system actually falls within the nuclear deterrence budget. And so in the same way that we upgrade our nuclear weapons, that they always say, we haven't upgraded our nuclear weapons in 20 years. It's like, whatever, dude, because, because the actual, weaponry itself, the munition itself has not been upgraded, but the technology does get upgraded. Let's see here. God, I really need to start bringing my glasses when I do this. Do you think, Shank Hunt, good to see you, bro. I don't recognize you. Make sure you subscribe. Do you think railgun systems will be a thing? The Japans are working on it too. The Japans. Yeah, it is a thing. The Navy built a railgun and put it on a ship and then tested it, but I don't know that it actually is a real thing anymore. 90% of the time, it's just, people tend to take the path of simplicity, the path of easiness, and so, it's a tremendous amount of energy that has to be harnessed in order to use that railgun. But it's not as much energy as a laser. But I think it'll be a thing, because tossing projectiles at things, and if you can frickin', start to measure wind, Coriolis effect, all sorts of stuff like that, then yeah, throwing a big chunk of whatever type of metal they've decided to pick that day, downrange at hyper velocity, then yeah, I think, it's cost efficient. It's cost efficient. So, let's see, look into the rods of gods. Yeah, well, that one doesn't, I'm pretty sure you're talking about the satellite, weaponry. That's one that's against the rules of the world. The Geneva Convention doesn't allow for that, and neither does the UN. But I would not put it past a country to actually build it, send it up, and then never use it. But that's more of a gravity trajectory weapon. You don't really need to do anything electromagnetic with it. But yes, that is still it's a pretty ingenious idea. I do not put it back. That's like the whole blue roof, agenda. I do not put it past the U.S. government to have freaking these laser weapons in space. I don't. I think it's smart, but I don't like the idea of how they may or may not be getting used. So, Shank, let's see. And ream them is supposed to be damn expensive because space travel is not cheap enough, but interesting. Yeah, it's a throwaway weapon system. It really is. But that's what I'm saying. The idea behind, the God weapon is that you never have to use it. If you do have to use it, it's like you can just obliterate cities, you know. Let's see here. The light, the morning from the North Woods, low 20s this morning. Yes, temperature is changing. So from here, from the waist up, I'm wearing my fancy sweatshirt that everybody wants. I don't even think they make them anymore. And from the bottom down, I'm wearing shorts and running shoes. It's an interesting. Who's that? I don't know her. It's an interesting time to transition. Okay, so we have 24 minutes left. Good convo. Let's talk about North Korea destroys interior Korean roads amid rising tensions. The tensions are such in the rising. We're going to have to sip some coffee. There we go. It's so good. All right, so I've got these broken down into like summarize them, and then we'll talk about them. Once again, if you're not familiar with the format, I read something, you write something, I talk about what you wrote. All right, so we're talking about the North Korean destroying their roads and some tensions. Believe it or not, there's a little factoid that every news agency is completely missing because it doesn't get clicks, and I'll tell you about it here in a second. So let's go over basically the summary. So what happened? North Korea blew up sections of interior Korean roads on its side of the border following accusations of South Korean drones flying over Pyongyang. The demolition is part of North Korea's efforts to fortify its borders and cut ties with the South. Why it matters. The action significantly escalates tensions between North Korea and South Korea, potentially impacting regional stability. It marks a further deterioration in inter-Korean relations and could lead to increased military presence along the border, affecting both countries and their allies. So a little bit of common ground here. Escalating tensions across the spectrum recognize that North Korea's actions are part of a broader pattern of escalating tensions on the Korean Peninsula, potentially leading to further provocations. There you go. Now the symbolic significance. There is consensus that North Korea's destruction of roads symbolizes Kim Jong's intent to cut ties with South Korea and abandon the long-standing goal of peaceful reunification. Propaganda warfare. Sources agree that the dispute over alleged drone flights and leaflet drops highlights the ongoing information war between North and South Korea, and both sides accusing the other of provocative actions. Well, that's all. This is all very factual. This is a very factual scenario. It's a very factual blurb out, for lack of better words. But one of the things that people don't really realize, they don't think about it, is families. There are, when the North and South split, when the Korean War was set, when we set the demarcation line, when we created the DMZ, this separated thousands of families, okay? And so there has always been this effort, this reunification effort between North and South Korea to reunify with their families. Now, this creates tension on the political side in South Korea. On the North Korean side, it doesn't do anything, okay? On the North Korean side, they're like, whatever, we blew some roads up, we can rebuild them tomorrow, who cares? But on the South side, its symbolism is that you will never see your family again. And so, because they're in a democracy in South Korea, they actually will like complain to their representatives. I can't, this is bull. You got to do something about this. I'll never be able to communicate with my family member ever again. Because in that part of the world, family actually means something. So it's there's a little bit of gamesmanship being played right here, but on the political side between North and South, they're pulling on the heartstrings. That's what this is really about. Now, why they're doing it? They're pissed off about the drone and the freaking leaflets dropping, and honestly, they probably can't even figure out why it happened. They didn't shoot a drone down. They didn't get a drone crash. They didn't get anything. Somebody's got a picture of a drone in the area. So what? You can't buy. Let's go to Amazon. Let's buy a drone. Let's take a picture of it in the sky and send it and say, okay, this is North Korea. So there's a lot of bull that is going on with that. So just kind of be aware of that. But North Korea and South Korea, they've always been a problem. Being a Marine, if you've ever deployed on a unit deployment program or UDP, you know that this is, Korea has always been a hotbed. That's why Marines are located in Japan for rapid deployment. Excuse me, to reinforce what forces we have there, which are actually limited. Now, I can tell you the South Korean Marines are badass mofos. That I can tell you that right now. So what kind of combat would go down? It would be interesting. It'd be fun to watch, but it wouldn't be fun to be there. That's for sure. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and check the chat here. I'm going to try and more Korean food great again. I love me some kimchi, bro, but you stink for days. All right, I'm going to scroll through this text here. Let's see here. Relearning. Oh, God. MJ, Mr. J showed up. Good to go. And Riamo supposed, by the way, subbed and fixed to come back. Nice. Appreciate you, bro. Morning from the North Woods. We got that. Let's see here. I guess somebody was asking about the DOD thing. I could talk briefly on it. I'll talk about it again. I guess somebody was asking about it. But I've got the chat scrolled up here, so we're going to talk about that. We've only got 18 minutes left. The DOD changed their DOD memorandum on the use of force against United States citizens was updated on September the 26th or 27th. And people are freaking out on YouTube as usual. The people who've never served in the military, who have no idea what any of this really means, are reading into a document that basically says that if you were like deployed in the United States, if you were on the National Guard, okay, or by the way, if you were like working hurricane relief and you ran across a militia, okay, and they started shooting at you, you would have the right to shoot back. That's all it says. That's all it says. And then as usual, all the people that have, and it's funny too, man, some of the people, sometimes I just love you guys, I would love to have more followers. There's a part of a YouTuber that always feels that way. But the bottom line is that these people that have these large platforms with 100,000, 500,000 followers, they're just immediately jumping on this little directive that came out that literally only says that they're giving service members the right to defend themselves, which is the inherent right of every single one. So up until this point, up until September 27th, let's say it was written then, nobody in the Department of Defense, if somebody was trying to kill them while they were activated, would have the authority to defend themselves. Tell me that's not freaking stupid. All right, so that's all it's saying. That's all it's saying. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and look at the chat. Damn, man, this is really hard on the eyes. And I'm in a bad spot, too, so I can't really... Let me try something here. Oh, no, that's not going to work. Wow, great notification. I was on the show, and I didn't turn on when you got started. I was too busy to restart stupid machines. We got here, blowing up roads for others to not come in that way and keeps them from going out that way could be much course, the current administration would probably give the North Koreans billions of dollars to rebuild the roads. That sounds about right. Let's see here. Thank you, Bradley. They they staged this. Where are we at here? They strangled us with the ROE in Iraq. Everyone was afraid to fire. Yeah, exactly. And I remember when they took the frickin' they took the reins off. When they let loose the reins, man, it's an amazing thing to see the U.S. military at work when they're not being restrained. They already know not to kill women and children. They already know not to do those bad things. They're trained not to do it. So, the ROEs have always sucked. But that one has always been there, though, the inherent right to self-defense. Let's see here. Got to have a bill to defend yourself? I know, right, dude? Okay, so we got 15 minutes left. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. We're going to move on to the next one. You guys are going to love this one. Oh, yeah. And oh, by the way, I'm surprised Iran has, wait a minute, is that, let's see, is that the one that's the next one? Let's see. Oh, okay. So, global public debt surges past $100 trillion. The International Monetary Fund, also known as the IMF, warns of future risks. Oh, future risks. You're warning us? That's kind of funny. Okay, so the basic summary of the situation is that, by the numbers, global public debt, global, not the United States, global public debt is projected to exceed $100 trillion dollarinos in 2024, reaching 93% of global GDP by 2030. It can approach 100% of GDP, or 10 percentage points higher than pre-pandemic levels. That's kind of crazy, guys. Why it matters. Now, rising debt levels could lead to costly consequences for countries unable to stabilize their debt, potentially impacting global economic stability. The IMF warns that future debt levels may be higher than projected. Basically, they know this is spinning out of control, but they can't do anything about it because of the administrations that are involved. Now, some common ground. Let's talk about debt surge concerns. There is widespread agreement that global public debt levels are reaching unprecedented heights, with projections indicating potential negative consequences for economic stability. Ooh, those are a lot of big words. We're going to talk about them, though. Insufficient fiscal measures. Oh, really? We're not doing enough? Okay. Analysts concur that current fiscal adjustments are inadequate to stabilize or reduce debt levels in many countries, highlighting a shared concern about future economic challenges. Now, political spending pressures. Experts across the board recognize the political reluctance to cut spending, noting various pressures such as clean energy funding, aging populations, and security concerns as contributing factors to rising debt. So they're basically saying that we can't cut spending. People won't, all of our supporters won't like it if we cut spending. It's like Medicaid is supposed to Medicaid. It's supposed to have gone out of business like 20 years ago. Social Security. Yeah, I remember when I was a kid. I remember watching, God, I'm going to date myself here. I remember watching debates on Social Security being insolvent by 1990. I remember Ronald Reagan talking about it. We don't do something about this, we're going to be insolvent. Social Security is going to have no money to give to nobody about nothing. And it's like, okay, so how are we still here? How did this happen? Yeah, I know they just printed more dollars. I understand. But here's the thing. You can't scream and yell and say the world's going to fall, and then it doesn't. It doesn't. So, let's see here. Let's go to the chat. The dude, military. Man, my eyes are sucking right now. A lot of military propaganda going around. We can't win a war. Name one. Yeah, I know, right? We can't win a war. Yeah, name one we can't. Come on, I dare you. We're right here. Gibbs B, good to see you, girl. Yep, the debt is way beyond what they can collect. You cannot get blood from a stone. Yeah, exactly. Here's the thing. Who's the arbiter of death that's going to come get us if we don't pay our bills? You know what I'm saying? They'll downgrade our national credit score. Good for you. Good for you. This whole mentality that we have to play the game by some set of rules that are set outside of our nation is ridiculous. And, that's a coffee shop in there. I thought that was something else. That's interesting. Huh. But, yeah, they start to create all these rules. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all for paying our debt. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not Rand and I'm not Ron Paul. And I'm not going to tell you that we need to balance this and we need to balance that, because anybody who thinks that the way the world works right now is like some giant checkbook that we're going to balance, you and I have to do that. We have to balance our checkbooks. You know what I'm saying? We have to manage our finances because we don't have a printing press. If you think about all of the stuff, all of the things, the infrastructure that we have built, okay, if we were still on the gold standard, we would never have the money, okay? We wouldn't have the gold. There's not enough gold in the world to build all the things that we have built as a culture. So this whole thinking that, that all this value, it doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work anymore. All right, what do we got here? Laszlo, good morning, my friend. Let's see here. The issue was if you are caught between a civil fight, Sunni versus Shia, and you were hit and you were not allowed to fire back, ROE sucks. Yes, the ROEs were different based on areas. So, let's see here. Watching from the People's Republic of Michigan. Good morning, Cuck. 5 million needed assistance. Illegals. Let's see here. Try 100 million. Let's see. Social Security better not be gone. I want my money. See this? I want my money. Jordan. Squirrel. No other country seems to pay back, though. Yeah, there you go. We want more heroin. Who's ready to go back to Afghanistan? Hey, good morning, Billy King. Good morning. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. I got 8 minutes and 34 seconds left before I gotta go. I gotta pop smoke, pull checks, go heck out of here. All right, let's go. Let's see. Oh, and by the way, if you guys have, you know what? We haven't done it. We haven't done it yet. If you love your country, put one in the chat. Go and do that now. I will drink coffee while you do it. America, I'm going to drink some coffee in the red, white, and blue. Sometimes I wish I had a singing voice. All right, let's see here. Last thing I got for you right here before we're running out of time is Iran condemns illegal, unjustified U.S. sanctions on oil industry. Gee, I wonder if that's why Iran, or I wonder if mysteriously their refinery. I don't think they have many, because up until a few years ago they didn't have any refineries in Iran. They just pumped out oil. And mysteriously, one of them burst into flames last night. How'd that happen? Anyway, Iran condemns illegal activities. Iran condemns Sunday what is called an illegal and unjustified expansion of U.S. sanctions targeting its oil industry following Tehran's missile attack on Israel early this month. In a statement, Foreign Minister spokesman Esmail Baghaei defended Iran's attack on Israel and strongly condemned the sanctions, saying they were illegal and unjustified. The United States on Friday slapped Iran's shut-up phone with a spate of new sanctions, SPATE, on the country's oil and petrochemical industry in response to Tehran's October 1st attack against Israel. Baghdadi defended Iran's attack, that's his last name, defended Iran's attack on Israel as being legal and instead insisted on Iran's right to respond to the new sanctions. The U.S. Treasury Department said it targeted Iran Iran's so-called shadow fleet of ships involved in selling Iranian oil in circumvention of existing sanctions. That's right, they're using a shadow fleet to bypass our sanctions. It said it had designated at least 10 companies and 17 vessels as blocked property over their involvement in shipments of Iranian petroleum and petrochemical products. The State Department also announced it was placing sanctions on 6 further firms and 6 ships for knowingly engaging in a significant transaction for the purchase, acquisition, sale, transport, and marketing of petroleum or petroleum products from Iran. Lots of big words there. Bagay said the policy of threats and maximum pressure had no impact on Iran's will to defend its sovereignty, territorial integrity, national interests, and citizens against... Oh, there it is. Time to drink. Against any violation and foreign aggressions. Everything's a violation and foreign aggression with these guys. Makes me wonder if their kids ever get laid. Oh, let's see. He said the sanctions would enable Israel to continue killing innocents and pose a threat to the peace and unity of the region of the world. Of the region. Wait a minute. To continue, he said the sanctions would enable Israel, quote, to continue killing innocents and pose a threat to the peace and unity of the region and the world. Okay, I'm about to say the region of the world. That's a head scratcher. The new wave of sanctions comes as the world awaits Israel's promised response to Tehran's missile attack, with oil prices hitting their highest level since August. Earlier this month, U.S. President Joe Biden advised Israel against threatening oil infrastructure in Iran, one of the world's 10 largest producers. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas last Tuesday warned that any attack against infrastructure in Iran will provoke an even stronger response. So, if you guys didn't know what actually happens with the oil and these supposed sanctions and this, that, and the other thing, all they're literally doing, the same thing happens. I swear to God, that's a coffee shop. I had no idea. That's wild. All that happens is they throw sanctions on them, then they use ghost companies and ghost ships that aren't registered anywhere, and then they sell that oil to some company that's some other place, and then those companies sell the oil to the United States, to the United Kingdom. They did the same thing with the Russian oil embargo. Okay, so let's see here. We've got 3 minutes left. I'm going to scroll back up. Need to dig up my aunt's. I'm probably missing somebody's here, but you guys kind of went rude. Let's see here. Country, a permanent population of a sense of nationality and ties of belonging. Okay, gotcha. And that was JB. Good morning, my friend. Need to dig up Auntie's Peace in the Middle East shirt and posters. Little Dry Creek. Good morning. The dude. I'm making up a company next year. If already bankrupt company can't prove services, my business will change money. There you go. Just be careful because it sounds freaking illegal. Heard there was a medical problem in the crowd. I heard there was a medical problem. I don't know what that you're alluding to, Rose. Let's see. Like checking out and stocking your own stuff. Change the business from having to work for another employee. I don't work at Walmart. Do I look retarded? Why am I checking myself out? I'm not an employee. You still have to pay yourself. Let's see here. Oh, for 39 minutes, Rose. New shop to scope out. Yes. I honestly thought this little building that I'm parked next to was like child enforcement or something. I had no idea. It's a coffee shop. You can see through the door. I've never parked this close to it before, but you can see through the door, and it's got like a chalkboard with everything written on it. And people like walking out with coffee. I never noticed it. Back to my old saying, you should have kept a large part of Iraq and Afghanistan after the war to keep resources for us and show how we can make the area better rather than just destroy and leave. Dude, listen, we really should have put freaking just McDonald's, Taco Bell, Burger King, KFC. We really should have done something over there. And I think that they were trying to do it, but you know, we had a change. We had a change of administration, and that changes policy. You know, I'm telling you right now, I used to own my own company down in Florida, doing working DoD contracts, and when Obama became the president, he basically smashed government contracting for all the little guys. I mean, he just like you would just like go to these meetings for proposals, and then you would write your proposals, and then they picked you, you won the contract. That's basically how the process works. And he would you go to these proposal meetings, and they held them once a month, and they'd be like, we've got nothing for you guys. And we're like, what? Like, people are there, they know that there's contracts out there, and the government is literally going, we don't have anything for you, for months on end. It crashed my business. It crashed my business. But it is what it is. That's why I don't work for the DoD anymore. Green bean coffee. There you go. Catitude. Why not AC? DoD equals dresses on deviants. I don't know about that. Maybe coffee shop is just a front. I'm going to walk in there in a minute. Okay, guys, the time has came and went. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. Do me a favor, on your way out, please hit that thumbs up button. There's 39 of you in here. There's no reason not to make it 39 thumbs up. If you're new to the channel and want to become a member, I do member videos every day or every other day. I've been pretty busy lately, but I'm working on a few other ones. And they kind of get to see all the crazy stuff. So, and let's see, if you haven't subscribed, do me a favor, go ahead and do that. And I think that's going to be about it, since I got to go figure out what this coffee shop really is, and finish up a few other things. Stay safe, have a great day, and I shall see you when I see you. Bye. If you don't have thumbs, that's triggering. Use your finger. Boop. Or we can be like, where's the camera? Where's the camera?